I'm teaching my daughter Kailani how to sew and make patterns. This is going to be our first project in a series of Snapchat, so stay tuned. For my daughter's Fashion 101 project, we got these cute little cheap tanks from Target, camisole and tank top. I helped my daughter make a pattern for the skirt, which is basically a little gathered skirt with an elastic waistband, which we then will attach to the tank top. These are some of the prints that I have that we're going to use, Hawaiian prints and ikat from Hawaii. And I'm going to help her cut them out. This is the pattern for the skirt.
This is the selvage, which I learned today. And it's also the length grain, which we cut our patterns with. So normally we cut our pattern on the selvage, but instead we're going to cut it up on the cross grain so we can have our pretty border.
Now that all of Kailani's skirts are cut out for her beach dresses, I'm going to teach her how to do a French seam to sew up the side seams. This is the right side of the fabric, and normally you would sew right sides together with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. But with a French seam, you're going to sew wrong sides together. Wrong sides together for Kailani to make it easier when we sew. And we're only going to sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance the first time around. Showing Kailani that 1/4 inch is basically the center point of the needle to the edge of the presser foot. Here she goes, keeping it straight. Keep that presser foot lined up to the edge. So we just sewed the first 1/4 inch on both sides, and now I'm going to press the seam open. So now I'm going to press the side seam flat, right along the seam edge, so it's nice and flat. It's the wrong side of the fabric, and I've pressed it flat, and we are going to sew another 1/4 inch line all the way down the side seam. Keep control with the left hand. Uh-oh. Keep it straight, keep it straight.
So I kind of messed up on my last one, so my mom is using the seam ripper to get out. You can see my bad mistake.
The seam nice and flat, and you can see how beautiful the inside is. The French seam is real clean. My mom always taught me that the inside of the garment should be just as beautiful as the outside. Kailani and I have all the skirts done. The side seams are all sewn. Now we need to do the waistband. So we need to do a gather stitch along the waist of the skirt to get it gathered. Kailani picked out her elastic for the waistband, and I sewed them up so that we have them already pre-cut and sewn to 22 inches. To create a gathered waistline, we're going to do 3 rows of gather stitches, which is an extra wide stitch that you can then pull to create your gathers. So I just did 3 rows of perfectly parallel wide stitches, which is going to be our gathers, and you can see how the waistband's already gathering a little bit. I'm pulling my 3 threads en deux trois, and we're going to evenly distribute the gathers on the front and the back waistband. The gathers, and now we have pinned on the waistband, so we basically want to make the waist fit onto the width of the waistband, and I pinned it along the edge. Ta-da! We have the skirt done. Kailani's just going to whip it on and see that the elastic is nice and stretchy. Get it over our hips. We could just stop here. We're not going to stop here. We're going to add the little tank top to it so it becomes a little beach dress, which is Kailani's design.
Like a cover-up.
Yes. Kailani, what is your motto for your designs?
I sew it, you rock it.
All right. We should trademark that.
We just sewed all the elastic waistbands to the little skirts, and we have all these different patterns, and we're going to put it on the
This is Brooklyn, our assistant designer today. And we're going to do this little ensemble first. This is the first one where we're going to attach the tank top to the skirt. This is the high shoulder point that I taught Kai, and that's where we're going to measure from there to the waistband. So we're going to measure 13.5 inches from the high shoulder point to the top of the waistband, and I'm going to pin it around this edge, and we're going to zigzag stitch it on.
So my mom made me try this on so she could figure out where we need to pin it, so it suits me right.
And a second zigzag stitch along the bottom edge of the waistband so that I can clean the inside of the tank top. And I'm just going to trim it.
We just made our dress and we sewed everything on, but we're not stopping now, and we're going to put this on the bottom. Many different choices to put on my skirt. I have pom-poms, lace,
Tassels. Taking the pin out.
So our dress is all done. It's so cute, and we put our lace on for the final touch, and we only have 18 more to go.